light material equipped with a fire chamber that heats mercury vessels, creating a vortex that lifts the machine into the air. This treatise describes how vimanas can take off vertically, move forward and backward, and even hide from enemies. Not only did these ancient engineers know about aerodynamics, but they also described in detail the construction of these machines, including the use of mirrors and lenses for camouflage and navigation. Is it possible that these descriptions are just myths, or is there real technology behind them that has been passed down through the ages? In the 20th century, a text called Vaimanika Shastra attracted the attention of researchers and enthusiasts. Allegedly dictated telepathically by the ancient sage Pandit Subbaraya Shastri, it describes the vimanas in even greater detail. In this text, reference is made to mercury vortex motors, which are reminiscent of modern electrical propulsion systems. The text examines the construction, management, and even weaponry, which includes devices for eavesdropping on enemies and weapons of mass destruction. This text was created in the early 20th century and has been questioned extensively. Many skeptics describe it as a product of modern fantasy and forgery. Can the descriptions be seen as mythology and religion alone, or do they contain traces of extinct technological knowledge that ancient civilizations possessed but have lost over the centuries? Having seen the initial descriptions of the vimanas in ancient Indian texts, it is time to delve into the details of their construction and capabilities. What technologies did the ancient Indians use to create these flying machines? Vimanas are not just mythical chariots. According to ancient texts, they were sophisticated technological machines, which makes us wonder about the level of knowledge of the ancient Indians. The Samarangana Sutradhara describes the apparatuses as wooden planes with mercury motors that use a vortex to create lift. But how could the ancient engineers have known about such principles? The Vaimanika Shastra mentions different types of vimanas, each with their own unique characteristics. For example, the Shakuna Vimana is described as a flying bird with movable wings and tail, while the Chapala is known for its high speed, accelerating by pressing a central button. According to some researchers, the vimanas may be the product of cultural exchange and the accumulation of knowledge over the centuries. In the Mahabharata, they play a key role in battles, using weapons of immense destructive power. These weapons are called astras, are activated by mantras, and have destructive capabilities comparable to modern nuclear weapons. Is there archaeological evidence to support these descriptions? Although many of the texts have been interpreted as mythological, some discoveries suggest that the ancient Indians may indeed have had advanced knowledge of metallurgy and construction. For example, ancient Sanskrit documents found in Tibet suggest that this knowledge was disseminated and developed over the centuries. These texts mention the use of laghima, a mysterious power that allows vimanas to fly and even reach other planets. According to some ancient astronaut theories, the vimanas are evidence of visits by alien civilizations who passed on their knowledge to the ancient Indians. Others believe that the vimanas are the product of a highly advanced civilization that lost its technology due to natural disasters or wars. Ancient Indian texts also speak of cosmic cities that revolve around the Earth like giant orbital stations. The vimanas provided the link between the Earth and the orbital stations. Some of them could carry more than 1,000 people. Others could carry only one person. It is said that the ancient city of Mohenjo-daro was destroyed with the help of the vimanas, with a weapon having the destructive power equivalent to a nuclear blast. In the ancient Indian poem, the Mahabharata, we find descriptions of flaming missiles and other deadly weapons such as the Indra's arrow, operated by a circular reflector. When switched on, it produces a beam of light, which when focused on any target, instantly engulfs it with its power. Here are some specific points. Krishna chasing his enemy Salva in the sky, when Salva's vimana, Sauba, is made invisible somehow. Unperturbed, Krishna immediately fires a special weapon. I quickly placed an arrow, which killed Seeking Sound.
Help!
Another moment describes Gurkha flying in his swift and powerful vimana, hurling against the three cities of Vrishi and Andaki with a projectile charged with all the might of the universe. A glowing pillar of smoke and fire, shining like 10,000 suns, rises in all its splendor. It is the unknown weapon, the Iron Lightning, a giant messenger of death that has turned the entire race of Vrishni and Andaki to ashes. In the Samarangana Sutradhara, it is written, "Strong and durable shall be made the body of Vimana. Inside, you should place a mercury engine with its iron heater underneath. By the force hidden in the mercury which propels the moving whirlwind, a person sitting inside can travel a great distance in the sky." Vimana's movements are such that he can ascend vertically, descend vertically, and move obliquely forward and backward. With the help of machines, human beings can fly in the air, and celestial beings can descend to the earth. Even more interesting is the information given in the ancient Chaldean work Sifrala, which contains over 100 pages of technical details on the construction of a flying machine. It contains terms that translate as graphite rod, copper coils, crystal indicator, vibrating spheres, stable angles, thrust, and more. Going further in our study, the great Indian epic, the Ramayana, tells in detail of a journey to the moon in the Vimana, or Astra. There, it describes a battle on the moon with the Atlantean airship Aswin. This part of the story leads us to ponder whether the ancient Indians were also proficient in anti-gravity technologies. But to understand this, we have to go back in time very far to the so-called Rama Empire, which is said to have developed in North India and Pakistan about 15,000 years ago. This civilization, which existed alongside the Atlantean in the mid-Atlantic, was made up of large and sophisticated cities ruled by enlightened priest kings. Rama's 7 largest capitals were known as the 7 Rishi cities. According to ancient Indian texts, the people of these cities had flying machines which they called vimanas. They are described as double-decked, circular aircraft with portholes and a dome, reminiscent of flying saucers. They could fly at the speed of the wind and make a melodious sound. There were at least 4 different types of vimans. Some were shaped like saucers, others like long cylinders. In the ancient scientific treatise Samara Sutradhara, we find all possible aspects of air travel with vimana. The work includes 230 stanzas dealing with construction, takeoff, long-distance flying, normal and forced landings, and possible bird strikes. Going beyond the context of Indian texts, we find other ancient writings left by other peoples and cultures describing similar aerial vehicles. For example, some Chinese documents can be seen as historical chronicles of experimental aviation. The youngest apparatus described there is 2,000 years old. One of these documents says that in 1766 BC, Emperor Chengtang ordered an aircraft to be made, and it was made. Later, the emperor ordered it to be destroyed. Very interesting are the descriptions of the poet Chu Yun, who lived in the 3rd century BC. He described a flying machine on which he personally flew over the Gobi Desert. The aircraft had wings made of light material. The construction included a frame of bamboo or wood wrapped in fabric or leather to create a surface for lift. Based on the descriptions, it is assumed that the apparatus used the principle of airflow for lift, similar to the principles of modern aerodynamics. The apparatus also had some form of mechanical control, allowing the pilot to control the direction and altitude of flight. There are also descriptions of aerial vehicles in the oral folklore of the peoples of Nepal. There is also mention of aircraft flight in ancient Babylon. One of the most interesting finds confirming that in ancient times people could fly was the Columbian airplanes, which are a whole squadron. 33 pieces have been found. How is it possible that ancient people could have imagined such advanced technology with such precision? What happened in ancient times remains a mystery to us and will remain so until we take seriously the fact that our ancient ancestors may have known much more than we think. As early as 1848, in Egypt, strange images were discovered in the temple of Set I at Abydos, which at the time spoke nothing to scientists for the simple reason that we would discover aviation 50 years later. Therefore, only in our days scientists have come to the conclusion that these are images of aircraft, for example, helicopters, and next to them there are depicted apparatuses, amazingly similar to modern supersonic fighters. Similar images have been found in the Karnak temple, but you can learn more about that in our video, The ET Connection to Ancient Egypt. Click the video on the screen